Kafkaesque. A word of 3 syllables that's made to describe the works of the Polish writer Franz Kafka, or anything with the same nature. A man whose works are described as nightmarish, absurd, and illogical. But the one thing that made Kafka's work special is that most of the struggles in his stories were unnecessary. The heroes go through these struggles without really understanding why they are going through them. The struggles are meaningless and illogical to the point where success itself becomes pointless. But if there was anything more Kafkaesque than Kafka's own works, then it must be bureaucracy. And Kafka knew that. Keep in mind that Kafka was an insurance broker and was familiar with the bureaucratic system and took it as a source of inspiration. We all know what happened to the man in Before the Law, who stood for decades in front of the door of law that was promptly made for him only because the guard asked him to wait. Even Poseidon, the great Greek titan of the sea, couldn't escape bureaucracy and was too busy to explore the oceans because of the paperwork he must fill in Kafka's short story Poseidon. In his most famous works, Metamorphosis, Gregor Samsa wakes up to the fact that he has become an insect. But despite the absurdity of his situation, Samsa was more worried about not missing work in fear of his employer's punishment. We've all been there, standing in lines for hours, entering a maze or a labyrinth of paperwork, signature, and stamps, so we could get a certain formal piece of paper. What importance does this piece of paper hold? Who will see it? And why we have to go through all this suffer? We never fully understand. James Ferguson and Akhil Gupta case study of India's Integrated Child Development Services program shows that there is a sense of hierarchy and verticality between the state and the community in the new liberal systems, the state being the one above and the society being the one below. Bureaucracy is the state's way of showing authority over the society. This idea of verticality and hierarchy between the state and the community is maintained by these bureaucratic procedures and practices. The surprise inspections, the formal charts, and the registers all serve the purpose of showing this symbolic power over the people. The routine practices and bureaucratic procedures help build this image of the state as being authoritative, efficient, and omnipresent. Not only the state, but also their agents and actors on the ground. But it's not always necessarily a bad thing. See, this sense of authority imposed by the state could be helpful. It could help encourage people to be as disciplined as possible and could give order to society. Through this monitorization, the state could preserve peace in society, and these charts and registers could help them apply justice and hold wrongdoers accountable. So, in summary, the works of Kafka are like bureaucracy. They're both bizarre, maze-like, and mostly we go through them without really understanding anything about them. They are both Kafkaesque. But while the idea of bureaucracy being a tool in the hand of the state to uphold the hierarchy over the society could seem a little bit dystopian, bureaucracy could be beneficial at times. At the end, I wish you a nice week, free of any paperwork, endless lines. I wish you a week where you do not think of yourself as a character in any of Kafka's works. Thank you.